Premier Daniel Andrews has joined up to 100,000 unionists who shut down central Melbourne. The Change the Rules rally called for Scott Morrison to be booted from office. Dougal Beattie was there.
For the second time this week, the city was brought to a standstill by protesters.
Union! Union!
A fluorescent sea of up to 100,000 people, including children, marched through Melbourne calling for a change in the federal government.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
Dubbed the Change for Rules rally, a cross-section of unions demanded better pay and increased job security, claiming the blame lies with the Morrison government.
We need to give our kids a better future. We need to give the mums and dads working out their pay rises.
Petrol's going up, childcare fees are going up, and the wages aren't keeping in line with that.
Among the faces in the crowd,
Daniel, give us the way!
the Premier marched alongside union members while defending his presence at the event.
It's important to me to be absolutely consistent. I was here before the election and I'm proud to be here today. Some may be critical of that, that is their right.
During school holidays, kids were kept entertained, making sure they too were heard.
Tell us, boys, why are you here today?
Change the rules.
And you?
To throw Scott Morrison in the bin.
I've got 3 of them here and I'm just running around losing them, so I think they're happy. Today's march marks the start of a campaign that'll ramp up until the federal election. Unions targeting marginal electorates and door-knocking, hoping it translates to votes. Are you confident that Bill will be the next Prime Minister?
I think he will be the next Prime Minister, but for that to happen, Scott Morrison has to have the courage to call an election.
Dougal Beattie, 9 News.
Thousands of unionists have swamped Melbourne's streets, shutting down big sections of the CBD to send a message on wages. They were calling for change as the federal election looms.
The union movement's election campaign moves to the streets.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
They say with the cost of living going up, wages are stagnant or going backwards, and casual workers are becoming the norm.
Something's got to change. Big business has got too much power.
We need people in full-time jobs. We need to give our kids a better future.
Plenty of kids joined in, a day in the city with mum and dad during school holidays.
To provide for my family when I'm older and so I can have a good education.
Some were more blunt.
To throw Scott Morrison in the bin.
You're working harder than ever and you're going backwards. The rich are getting richer and today we say enough.
Deep in the crowd, a public servant named Daniel Andrews.
People are angry, they're out on the streets, they're out in force, but they're campaigning for something very simple, a fair go. It is wrong that we have to campaign for that. I thought that was something that was intrinsically Aussie.
He marched with them from Trades Hall in Carlton through blocked city streets to State Parliament. Walking our streets with chants is symbolic of their anger, but real action comes next month when these unionists walk into polling booths.
We are going to fight to get rid of this rotten government. Are you with me?
I'll be shouting and screaming and doing all of that. I mean, that's people's democratic rights.
See you later, Scott!
Paul Dowsley, 7 News.